What's going on, Neon Nation? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In today's Cyberpunk 2077 news video, we finally have some news on official mod support from CD Projekt Red to make it that much easier for mod creators to create compelling additions to the 2077 universe. A spicy new Keanu Reeves mod that we just knew was coming, developments on a game-breaking bug introduced in patch 1.1 that has soft-locked the game for many players, and what CDPR has to do with the latest GameStop saga. Before we get into it, today's video is sponsored by Opera GX, a web browser tailored to gamers with its above and beyond functionality and robust set of features versus your standard browser. Having a bunch of tabs open in traditional browsers can be taxing on your PC, especially when they're running in the background while you're gaming. But this has been addressed with Opera's GX Control, which will allow you to limit the CPU and RAM usage for your browser, helping you run as efficiently as possible. With GX Corner, Opera also offers a hub where you can discover all the latest free games, best deals, and latest releases from around the web in one convenient location. With GX Corner, I now know that Cyberpunk 2077 is on sale on GOG and at a pretty great price to boot. Opera GX also has streamlined Twitch and Discord integrations, which make it easy to jump into your preferred streams as well as to hang out with friends. As a very much visual person, Opera GX has the cleanest UI that I've experienced in a browser, with a ton of customization options in terms of special themes, wallpapers, and colors. One of my favorite features with Opera GX is its ability to force dark pages. Now, no one likes getting flashbanged by opening a website with an overly bright or light theme, and so Opera has come in to fix this issue with the ability to force pages to adopted dark mode. Opera GX is my current default browser just because of how feature dense and customizable it is. So check out the link in the description and pinned comment to download Opera GX free of cost. Moving into today's segment, we first have a story on the official release of some mod tools for Cyberpunk 2077. Now, as someone brand new to mods, I've been dipping my feet into the pool of some of the easier to install mods over at Nexus Mods, and have been really pleasantly surprised at how quickly this community is at churning out meaningful updates to Cyberpunk 2077 that, in all honesty, make it feel like a much more complete game. Simple mods that just add more customization make Cyberpunk 2077 actually feel like body modification matters, especially since a core tenet of the Cyberpunk genre and IP is the whole style over substance edgerunner motif. In a release on cyberpunk.net, we have a statement mentioning that, quote, "Below you will find the official tools and resources that will help you modify and create your own experiences in the world of Cyberpunk. Tools will be continuously updated alongside with game patches to ensure compatibility. Before downloading and diving in, please make sure you have read the license agreement." Now, the license agreement is lengthy, but it does mention here that CDPR grants permission to use the software's toolset features to create your own content, to use with the game only as necessary to create your own levels and quests, to implement your use of the game and or create your own modifications to existing content in the game. Again, I'm relatively new to modding. This is the first title that I've actually played around with mods, and if creators have been giving us some pretty good options to play with already, these additional tools might mean that, like the statement says, we can be getting user-created quests and levels, and just more expansive content as a whole. The release here goes on to show a couple of downloads for these tools, and I can't wait to see what users end up creating when it comes to Cyberpunk. Speaking of mods, we do have one that is currently getting a lot of traction online, which the gang over at the Cyberpunk 2077 community podcast predicted was going to be one of the first mods to come out, dating back quite some time. Now, yes, modders have finally created the ability to swap out NPCs for main story characters, and surprise surprise, Keanu Reeves is one of the first to receive the Joy Toy treatment. Now, even though you can engage in the same Steamy scenes with Silverhand as you can with the Joy Toys, there are no Silverhand voice lines for these particular scenes, but that's mostly to do with the fact that this is not official and is a fan-made mod. Now, there's also been a pretty funny swap featuring Adam Smasher that's been pretty popular on Reddit over the last couple days, and although I definitely envision Smasher to be the pitcher and not the catcher, it's a pretty meme-worthy video in general. Here's the video by Bookazoid to fuel your nightmares. Now, you will need a specific tools mod from Nexus to be able to get these to work, although with the official tools being released by CDPR, this might become obsolete. If you want the ability to swap out main characters as shown here, and make Kojima your Ripper Doc or Lizzie Wizzy a one-night stand, well, here you have it. Now, at this point, if you're keeping up to date with Cyberpunk 2077, you'll know that patch 1.1 dropped fairly recently, to which the community has had a mixed response. Of those that are vocal online at least, there seems to be a split between people who have seen increased performance to those who have seen more problems introduced. One prominent problem introduced in 1.1 was the character Takemura in a quest called Down the Street, where Takemura would call you and not say anything, which would soft lock the game, making it impossible to progress. It seems like CDPR is aware of this issue and has mentioned that, quote, "We're working on the issue where the conversation with Takemura may not start during the quest Down on the Street, and plan to release a hotfix to address it as soon as possible. In the meantime, here's a potential workaround." In this workaround, CDPR mentions that you should load a game save before Takemura and V leave Wakako's office. You should finish the conversation with Takemura outside the office right away, and right after this finished conversation and you get a quest update, you should skip ahead 23 hours. Now at this point, you can see if the holo call triggers and the dialogue with Takemura starts. Now I'm honestly not sure how they figured this one out with the 23 hours time skip. That seems kind of arbitrary, but hey, if it works, it works. So do try that out if you are in need, and hopefully that fixes your issue. Now this was a big enough issue for CDPR to address, and I don't think they have addressed any of the other main bugs in the past. So I am hoping that they can get this game patched up as soon as possible. It's one of those situations where I feel empathetic for how much work there's still left to do, and I feel for the devs who are leading the way in that department, but at the same time I'm a little perturbed by the fact that they're now outlining ways for their player base to fix issues themselves. I guess it is what it is, and only time will tell where this game goes from here. Now moving into the next story, this is a little bit divergent from the Cyberpunk universe, but it's still somewhat related, and it is undoubtedly one of the biggest stories this year in the financial world with the whole GameStop saga. Just as a little intro into this one, it's essentially Reddit versus a large hedge fund by the name of Melvin Capital that have shorted the GameStop stock. Redditors have shown the power of the internet by actually buying and holding GME, creating a short squeeze where this hedge fund is bleeding money to the point where it needs cash infusions from other mega corporations to stay afloat. Now how does this all play into Cyberpunk? Well, this is the same hedge fund which used its influence to short the CD Projekt stock, making a killing to the tune of $25 million in the process. Now if you remember, CDPR stock fell a whopping 40% or so post-release of Cyberpunk, and because Melvin had shorted CDPR, they benefited substantially from this. Moving into some quickfire segments, we first have an update from CDPR on the physical disc refund front with their Help Me Refund program. According to Vice's Patrick Kelplek, it seems physical disc owners are starting to get their refunds via emails from the CD Projekt Red team. In this email, CDPR mentions that, quote, "We want to inform you that your refund requests have been approved and issued according to your chosen refund preference. Depending which solution you picked or the amount you paid for your copy, should now be available to you via the specified account or will be soon. Regarding your game discs, we ask that you keep hold on to them for now. We recognize that arranging disc returns is not a particularly convenient process and are currently looking for the least disruptive solution in order to wrap up this part of the process. Thank you for your patience. If you've bought the physical version and you wanted a refund, well, here you go. You have some communication from CDPR here. Finally, there is only a couple days left in the Shutterpunk contest, so if you have not already, submit your portrait, action, or sites shots on Twitter using the hashtag Shutterpunk for a chance to win some Cyberpunk prize packages. I'd love to see someone from this community win this, so get your shots in before January 31st. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and for more lore, news, and discussion on Cyberpunk, join Neon Nation by subscribing to the Neon Arcade.